Hi, this is David Dugan, and this is the public speaking class COM 101. This is the second speech, the process speech. Have you ever seen the professional tennis players hit a crazy serve and ace their opponent? Well, that's because they have years and years of practice of hitting spin serves. Spin serves are the easiest type of serve to learn, and it is also the hardest serve to return. The spin serve takes a little bit of time to make perfect, but once you have the spin serve, it's very hard not to win when you're serving. After I get done talking, you'll be able to show your friends how hitting a spin serve will easily dominate your opponents. Before starting the spin serve, you have to keep an eye on where the service box is. The service box is a square box in the court that you have to hit the ball into to start the point. Making sure you hit this area definitely helps with double faults and losing the points in the match. The first and most important part of hitting a spin serve is the toss of the ball. This is crucial because if you don't toss it right, you will not get the spin on the ball to make it give a kick when it hits the ground. The toss should be thrown about 3 to 4 feet above you, so enough time will be allowed to think about how one wants to hit the ball. The second part of the throw is that you want to throw it right above your head. This creates your body to lean back a little so that you can properly hit the ball when it reaches your tennis racket. Not throwing the ball right above the head will result in a poor serve and will, without doubt, not make the serve in the service box. During the toss of the ball, you also want to make sure that your feet stay still and parallel apart, and that your body does not point toward the net but to the side of the court. This creates more spin for the serve, so when the ball hits, the opponent will have a hard time judging where the ball will go. Also, you do not want to jump when hitting your serve or any other type of hit in tennis. Keeping your feet parallel and on the ground will really help the consistency of your serves. The next thing you want to do after the toss is to judge when to hit the ball. This is the hardest part by far because if you hit the ball too early, you will not get enough spin on the serve and the opponent will have an easy time hitting the ball back. If you hit the ball too late, there will be too much spin and the ball will not be traveling fast enough to get over the net. You want to find a point right in the middle of those two and be able to hit a consistent serve in the spot. Again, this will be the part that takes the longest because it is the judgment of the player. We have talked about the position of the feet and the body, the toss, and judging when to hit the ball. Now it is time for how to hold the racket and how to hit the ball as it drops in the air. When holding the racket, there are a few things you want to keep in mind. First, you want to have a good grip on the racket to make sure that the ball has a strong base to hit off of. Next, the racket will be positioned in the hand like you're hitting a hammer. This will create spin on the ball when it hits the racket. Holding the racket is also a big part of the serve. You want to make sure you hold it right because certain things could happen. The ball could hit the frame of the racket. You could totally miss the ball could have too much spin on it and go straight into the net, or a flat serve could be hit and the ball would sail way too far if the racket isn't held properly. Keeping the hand at a consistent point on the racket will help with keeping the spin serve in the service box. Also, when you hit the ball, you want to have the racket face facing the net as it hits the ball. When making contact, the racket should still be going up into the ball so that spin can be created. After making contact with the ball, you want to make sure that the racket doesn't stop. The racket should be swinging in a U motion. The upward part of the U would be hitting of the ball, and the downward part would be the follow-through. Swinging all the way through creates the spin on the ball, and that brings the ball quickly toward the ground. When it hits the ground, the ball should give a good kick so that the opponent has a hard time getting the ball back. The final part of the spin serve is knowing when to use it against your opponents. Sometimes you have to read your opponent and find out if they're ready for it or not. If the opponent is not in the right position, the spin serve should be used. But if the opponent is ready for the serve in the position to hit it, and a different serve should be used. In conclusion, the serve in tennis is a huge part of the game. Knowing when to hit different serves to beat your opponent is crucial. If you don't have a serve, here's one, the spin serve. It's the easiest one to use and the most effective in the game of tennis. Your opponent will not be able to tell where the ball is going, and you will surely beat them with confidence.